Welcome to the Great Canadian Blueprint. My name is Ian, and today we're stepping into the lavish world of Montreal's fur trade elite. Merchants who turned beaver pelts into towering fortunes. Montreal in the 1850s was lined with cobblestone streets and grand mansions, their stone facades gleaming with the wealth of the fur trade. These weren't just homes, they were symbols of power, built on the labor of indigenous trappers and the vast network of the Hudson's Bay Company. But this wealth didn't stop at their doorsteps. It fueled real estate booms, urban development, and Canada's economic ascent. Let's dive into how these moguls, alongside the HBC, shaped Montreal and beyond. Montreal wasn't just another trading post, it was the financial nerve center of Canada's fur trade. After Britain took control of New France in 1763, ambitious Scottish merchants flooded in, buying the riches of the wilderness. Men like James McGill and Simon McTavish founded the Northwest Company in 1779 to rival the Hudson's Bay Company's monopoly. By the 1780s, the Northwest Company was shipping 50,000 pelts a year to Europe, with each beaver pelt fetching £1 in London. When the HBC swallowed the Northwest Company, its competitor in 1821, Montreal held firm as the trade's hub, its merchants pocketing profits that would reshape the city. The HBC's scale was staggering. By the 1830s, it processed 100,000 pelts annually, raking in 100,000 British pounds, equivalent to $25 million today. Trading posts like Fort Garry in Winnipeg and Fort Victoria in BC, but it was Montreal's elite who turned raw furs into lasting wealth, pouring into the land, buildings, and power. Let's take a moment to meet some of these masterminds. James McGill, born in Glasgow in 1744, arrived in Montreal in 1766 and quickly rose to the Northwest Company's ranks. By 1779, he was a partner, and when he died in 1813, his estate was valued at 100,000 British pounds, roughly $25 million today. McGill's fortune wasn't just for show, though. He donated 10,000 British pounds to found McGill University in 1821, a testament to how fur money seeded Canada's institution. Then there's Simon McTavish, known for his extravagant lifestyle. Taking the Northwest Company's helm, he amassed 200,000 British pounds by his death in 1804, $50 million in modern terms. His mansion, which began construction in 1790, was a cornerstone of Montreal's Golden Square Mile, setting the tone for the elite district. Other heavyweights like Alexander Mackenzie and William McGilvery followed suit, their wealth spilling into real estate and civic projects that defined Montreal's growth. The Golden Square Mile was where fur fortunes took physical form. By the 1850s, this district northwest of Old Montreal housed 70% of Canada's wealth. Mansions here weren't modest, costing 5,000 British pounds each, around $1.25 million today. They boasted imported marble, intricate ironwork, and gardens rivaling European estates. Land values exploded as the city expanded. An acre worth $10 in the 1820s soared to $500 by the 1870s, driven by these investments. Fur wealth didn't just decorate homes, though. It built Montreal's bones. Merchants bankrolled the Lachine Canal, finished in 1825 for $440,000, about $100 million in today's money, streamlining trade routes. McGill University became a cultural anchor, while banks and railways like the Grand Trunk, launched in 1852, owed their start to fur profits. The HBC's economic might, fueled by millions in fur revenue, underpinned this growth. Its steamship, the Beaver, launched in 1835, boosted settlement in places like Victoria and Nanaimo, where land values later surged. The HBC's governance of Rupert's Land also shaped policy. It offered settlers 100-acre plots at $1 to $2 per acre, driving population booms. The 1870 transfer of its territory to Canada for the 300,000 British pounds and 7 million acres was a cornerstone of Confederation. But it came with tensions, as Indigenous land rights were sidelined, sparking uprisings like the Red River Resistance. As you can imagine, this wealth had its shadows. Anglophone merchants reigned supreme, marginalizing French Canadians and Indigenous trappers who supplied the furs. The HBC's monopoly and debt-based trading system locked many into economic dependence. As well, environmentally, overhunting gutted beaver populations by the 1850s, unraveling ecosystems that Indigenous communities relied on. Real estate ventures deepened inequality as well. In Montreal, the elite's expansion pushed out working class neighborhoods, a trend that caused slum clearances in the 1930s, displacing thousands. The HBC's profit-driven land policies often ignored indigenous claims, sowing seeds of conflict that still linger today. Montreal's fur trade moguls didn't just live well, they built a city. Land values leapt from $10 to $500 per acre, and their mansions still dot the Golden Square Mile as relics of the era. The HBC's economic and real estate influence stretched across Canada, but its legacy is bittersweet. Immense growth paired with social and environmental costs. These merchants turned furs into fortunes, and those fortunes into cities. That's all I've got for today. Join me on the next video as we explore the fur trade's collapse and Canada's leap into agriculture. See you then.